Hello, this is Dr. Christine Sauer. Welcome to Your Quality of Life, Healthy Alternatives. Today with Petia Kolibova. Petia is a woman's transformation coach who helps women who have been pushed down and been playing it small due to toxic relationship or unhealed childhood trauma to create a life that is true to them and their soul purpose. Now, oh my God, is that wonderful. I should have heard that 38 years ago.
It's never too late, Christine. It's never too late.
I had my transformation 23 years ago. So after I was in a toxic relationship for 17, big mistake. So tell us a little bit, where did you grow up? How did you end up doing what you do? And why are you passionate about what you do?
Such a great question, and very often when people ask me, why do you do what do you do? I just created something that I needed myself, and that's the easiest way. And that's to explain it, but also for people to be able to relate, right? Because if you tell them like, oh, I thought it's a cool topic and I just wanted to do it, people cannot relate to it. And when people look at me now and they see, oh, she's a TV show host and she has her podcast, and when we can, I usually travel the world and host international retreats. I did last year in Bali. We were planning to go to Europe and Bali again this year, so postponing a little bit. It's so easy for people to look at me and say, oh, it's easy for her, right? But they don't see what had to happen in my life so I can be where I am today. Because today I manifested the love of my life. I work with my dream clients that are my true soulmate clients, and it's fun. It's fun. I work only 3 days a week and I have a 5-figure incomes. But if you would have told me this 5-10 years ago, I wouldn't believe it. Yeah. I would look outside of myself and I would think that it's possible for others, but not for me because I'm not special, right? So it's something that I love to teach, how to be you and how to live abundantly, because I feel like that's why we are here. Yeah. That's why we are here, to truly be ourselves.
So tell us your story. Where does it come from? Because you certainly have a personal story. People will hear an accent. Mine is German. Yours is not German. Well, tell us a little bit about it.
I love that. People are like, where is your accent from? So my accent, it's mine. But I was raised and born in Czech Republic. And then when I was 20, I moved to London, then Spain. So right now I'm like a mixture of all. But when I was raised in Czech Republic, I was mentally and physically abused by my stepfather. And that led to me believing that I'm unworthy and I'm unlovable and that I always will have to do things, people please, so I deserve my time and space on sunshine, right? Somebody love me, I have to do something for them, right? So that's how I grown up. And as I was growing up like this, I developed eating disorder, which led me into really focusing on the world and myself from the exterior, like, oh, when I am leaner, when I'm thinner, then I will be happy. When I have the perfect body, I will be happy. When I have the perfect relationship, then I will be happy. And all of that, when I have the money, when, like living in the when land. Yeah. So that's how I was living my life up until I was almost 30. So it took me 3 decades of engaging in toxic relationship, not seeing my worth, not seeing my value. And because when we don't feel worthy, that's exactly what we are attracting, the evidence into our reality. If you're not feeling worthy, of course you will see things that will make you feel unworthy.
And so many women have exactly that problem. Yes. They get raised as women. The man is the head of the household, and you do what he says and please him and everybody else, and you're last.
Yep, recovering people pleaser here. And it never worked for me because, Christine, it didn't matter how much I did and how many things I achieved. I traveled the world, learned the languages, happily divorced now, but I'm like, oh, let me get married, from someone who I knew for 17 years almost. And I'm like, when we get married, then everything will be perfect. And I find out that he was narcissistic and it was very toxic, unhealthy relationship. relationship.
Yeah.
So I was checking off all the lists, and on the outside, for the people, it looked like she's living a perfect life. She's lean. She's doing fitness competitions. She has a handsome husband. All of these things on the outside. But on the inside, I was dying. On the inside, I felt miserable. On the inside, I was burning out. Like physically and literally, I was just burning out. I was always tired, adrenal fatigue. I was under eating and then overindulging to compensate for that. So no matter how much I did, it was never enough, but it was because I felt I'm not enough.
Yeah, and I know so many women, especially women clients, that tell me, I'm looking for someone to love me. I need somebody to love me. And that's so sad because first you need to love yourself. And I love that you do that and help your clients achieve it. Tell me a little bit about your transformation. How did you learn to love yourself so then you can love others? And how did you teach it?
Yeah, I love that question because when I was 18, Christine, I attempted for suicide because I just hated myself. I hated my life. And I was looking outside of me. I'm like, well, if this is it, I don't want it. And they find me, at the time. So I woke up in a hospital. But that was when I was 18, and it was still going on that pace, me feeling unworthy, not good enough. And when I was 28 years, I already lived in the United States. I was going to the school. I was working in a corporate, married back then. So everything on the outside looked good. And on the inside, I didn't feel happy and fulfilled because I was always outsourcing my happiness. I was outsourcing my worthiness. I will be worthy when? I will be happy when somebody else loves me, somebody else validates me, somebody else sees me as worthy. So when I was around the age 27, 8, I had that feeling and thought again, like, I don't want to live like this. And I realized, I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't want to do this again. I don't want to go through the darkness and despair and because I know that for the second time I would succeed. Like you learn, right? Anything you want to do, you learn. So I started searching online for help, asking Uncle Google, YouTube, whatever was available back then. That was almost 10 years ago, right? So back then I was searching like how to be happy, how to overcome eating disorder, how to feel good. And luckily I found Louise Hay. And that's where my journey started, because Louise Hay, I was binging on all the videos because my inner critic was so strong that I couldn't shut it up. I couldn't. And that's why I was numbing with the food and drinking wine and excess shopping to have this sense and feeling of aliveness, to feel worthy, because like, oh, look, I can buy whatever I want. I can eat whatever I want. There was the full sense of control. Like, oh, I'm in control. I can create this happiness, right? So I started to search online. I find Louise Hay, and her famous quote in one of her videos that I was looking at was, go to the mirror and say, I love you. I didn't even bother, Christine. I didn't even get up and went to the mirror because I didn't. Yeah. In that moment, I'm like, I don't love myself. I don't even like myself. And that was the moment like, oh, wow, I don't. So that was for me the turning point. And it wasn't like, oh my gosh, now I realize it. Now I'm out, like light bulb in my head and I'm feeling good. It took me almost another decade to get where I am. And as I was learning on my journey, I hired life coach and business coach, and happily divorced now, like how I'm saying now. And it was big for me when I look back, but those steps were so small, very small. I just started to read more books. I started to listen to podcasts. I started to brainwash myself because I didn't want to hear that negative thought. Who do you think you are? Nobody cares. You don't matter. All of these things. So I was kind of shutting off that inner critic by putting more positive thoughts in it.
Yeah, and Louise Hay is a wonderful woman. She's very old now, even older than me. And
I think she passed like
she
4 years
passed.
ago.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, yeah. I read many of her books,
Yeah.
and she spearheaded Wayne Dyer, which I love also.
I love him. Yeah.
And Professor Weiss. Oh my God, his books, Only Love is Real. It's wonderful. There's many books that she had in Hay House that really changed people's lives, and I'm glad that she did it for you.
Yeah, absolutely. And she gave me so much hope because, first of all, she was older. When she started her journey, she was over 55. Second of all, I look at her and it was like Mother Teresa of love, right? Like how consciously she was helping others and healing others. And she helped me so much with my healing. I overcame my eating disorder of 18 years. I'm like 8-9 years now clean.
Amazing.
Right? No. It is. Amazing. Because I never could believe that it's possible to overcome, but it truly goes, Christine, like you said, it goes to self-love. If you love yourself, then you don't need anyone else to prove you. You don't need anyone else to tell you you're lovable, but also you're not going to be harming yourself with unhealthy food, unhealthy drinks, unhealthy habits, unhealthy relationships, because you love you and you wouldn't do this harm to yourself. So along my journey, those were the two biggest things that I realized that I'm teaching now women. Yes, how to love yourself. That's the basis of everything. But very many people don't see it as a problem, right? They think like, oh no, I'm okay. I just want more money. I just want more clients. I just want to release some weight. I just want a better house. No, all these things we think we want, but that's not what you need. So where I start my clients, it's on them feeling worthy. Because when you're feeling worthy, because when I tell you, I will teach you how to love yourself, you're like, no, I'm good. But when I tell you how to teach you how to be unapologetically worthy, then they're like, okay, I'm listening. So that's something that I've created just recently. A few months ago, I launched my mini course, Unapologetically Worthy. I truly believe every woman has to go through it. Every woman has to go through it to really overcome her limiting beliefs, to overcome her self-doubt, the destructive behaviors, to engaging in the things that are really hurting her. So when you can go through that, it's a videos, it has a worksheets, it helps you to rewrite those old limiting stories and learn how to live with that inner critic, because you cannot ignore it, you cannot shut it off. It's like a little kid in the store, in a candy store, it will yell louder and louder and louder when you try to ignore it. So once you're feeling worthy, now you're open, now you're receptive, now you can change your life.
I love that. And if anybody wants to see it, I'm sure they get it on your website.
Yes, yes.
And I shared below the video and in the podcast detail, but just say it for those that listen to the podcast so they find your website.
Absolutely. It's just my name, petiakolibova.com.
Now, maybe you should spell that for those that are not of Czech origin.
Yes, it's a PETIA KOLI, B like a boy, OV like a Victor, A.com. And I'll also send you a Christine link so they can check it out, because that's something that I truly, truly wholeheartedly wish existed. When I was on my journey, it would save me so much pain, so much time, and let's be honest, money. Because the money that I invested in my past relationships to feel loved, to feel seen, and investing in friends just to not be alone and being the one who always pays for everything, I could have a house now.
Yeah, and all the time and heartache that goes with that.
Yes.
And I hear you, because I was there. I'm out of it for a long time now, but I know how it is, and it's I love it when younger people like yourself go in the same direction and really love themselves and help love others. What else do you do? I know you have a very rich offerings.
You are so sweet.
I want to hear more.
She was like, I want more. So what I'm doing, I don't know when this is launching, but what I'm doing is because I realized like, okay, great. Now the women, they're feeling worthy. We're healing their past and past wounds so they can really step into the life they desire. To step into your life that you desire. I attract women who want to change the world. I attract women who want to be the best mother, the best coach, the best leader. They came here to create a change. They feel they're meant for more, but they don't know yet how to live it and maximize their impact. So I'm like, okay, now you're feeling worthy. Now you're feeling good to be yourself, unapologetically you. Now you get to create the wealth so you can help more people. Because in the past, when I was thinking money will make me happy, it wasn't about that. I knew how to make money and I spent it faster than I made it. Because I had no relationship with money. I just saw it as a thing to get it, to spend it, get it, spend it. And that was my whole thought process. No relationship to it, no respect, no love, no nothing. So I realized in the past couple of years that when I build a relationship with money, it feels good. It feels enriching. I'm retiring my mom now. I'm sending money to my grandma. They both live in the Czech Republic, and that's my lifelong dream. My mom, she's working now only 6 hours a day, I believe, just part-time. I'm like, Mom, if you want to retire, just do it. Just do it. Like, I'll take care of you. But I also have a team of 11 people. Mm-hmm. All these things I would never believe possible for myself, but I had to change my money mindset because me growing up in Czech Republic, there is no money mindset. Money is hard to make. Only people who take advantage of other people make money. Only the bad people make enough money. The good people are poor people, right? We see the evidence in our parents and grandparents. They're good people, they're broke. They're bad people and they have Mercedes and cars. So I grew up like that. I had to change my stories. I had to change my money stories and relationship to money. And when I did that, I 10 times my income in a year.
Yeah, and those are very common money stories.
Yes.
Because we see bad people that have tons of money and we see good people that have none. But there are good people that have tons of money, but they usually are not on the top of politics.
Yep, exactly. So it's time to change it because I truly believe that when good people make good money, we can do great things. I went last year in Bali and I had my retreat there. I do retreats when we can travel, but also I invested 2 weeks of my time teaching English, the little kids there, disadvantaged kids. So there is nothing more gratifying when you can contribute to somebody's better future. Now I'm a monthly supporting these kids and it gives me so much joy and pleasure because now I can. So that's what I tell my clients. I need you to make more money because you're such a good person that I know when good people have money, we will do good things.
Exactly. We use the money to help others.
Yes.
Not that we want to be filthy rich and spend it on Rolex watches. Mm-hmm. And that's the difference. And people always think money is only good to buy things. Money is also good to help others.
Yes, absolutely. And the thing that I wanted to add in, if you want to go out and buy yourself Rolex because it makes you feel good, go and do it. You're not a bad person just because you're buying things, but you will see that it will shift. Everything in your life will be then just upgrade, but you won't need it. For example, of course, we want a bigger house with my love because we're planning for family next year. I want a bigger car because I have 2-door and it's a challenge to all fit in, right? But I have everything I ever prayed for. Now everything else, it's upgrade. And when you live in this abundance and mentality, I have everything. I have more than enough. I'm enough. Everything else that comes, it's an upgrade. It's such an amazing feeling. So that's why I'm launching on August 18, my money mindset makeover. You gotta change your mindset and make that money for whatever you want. I'll send you a link, Christine, later.
Please do, because it's just in time. I think we'll launch this on August 13, so they can go straight to the link and register and get in.
Perfect. Yes. And, because it's something that I wanted everybody to have, I just made it like a no-brainer price too. So I want people to really change their mindset. When you change your money mindset, you will change your life. And there's such a beautiful, there are videos, there are exercises, there are worksheets, like you are really guided step by step. So it's not overwhelming. We're all busy, right? I don't want to overwhelm you like 10,000s of hours of videos. No, let's straight to the point, no fluff. This is why, this is how, let's do it together.
And the good thing is, it's from somebody that actually was there, that knows the details, that has overcome it and shows how to do it.
Yes.
And I mean, that's great. And you're a wonderful person.
Thank you.
And you do good work. And I love that. Anything else you want to say, or share your website, your links, or whatever you want to do before we wrap up?
Yeah, one thing that I would love to share with your audience, it's a mantra that I have created myself when I was going through tough times, when I was feeling not good and not good enough. Mantra that I created and then I share with my clients now: you are perfectly made for your purpose.
You are perfectly made for your purpose.
Because very often we are comparing ourselves with others, like, oh, if I would be better, smarter, richer, thinner, whatever. We're comparing ourselves. But in the moment, you realize my hair, my eyes, my nose, my accent, my body structure, the way I think, the way I speak, it's perfect for exactly why I came here to this world. That's when you become unapologetically you, and that's when you allow the people who are like you to come to your world. And it's so beautiful when we can get united and truly be true to who we really are. So that's the message that I want to, leave people in with. And like you said, if they want more of me, they can see my website. I know you will put it in the show notes, or just check out my podcast, Unapologetically Abundant. And that's where I usually hang out, my website. Or if for your younger audience, I'm always on Instagram. I share my stories. I teach there, it's again, my name, Petia Kolibova, or my podcast, Facebook group, Unapologetically Abundant Woman.
Excellent. And that is really exciting. And what a nice mantra. I mean, I agree with you're perfect the way you are right now. You're perfect for the purpose.
Yes.
Oh my God, you're perfect right now for your purpose. That is a wonderful mantra. Thank you so much for that. Thank you for being on the show, Petia. And I wish you really all the best.
Thank you so much, Christine, for having me. And also for all the work you're doing. It's so needed.
Thank you. I love people just like yourself, and I love helping people. That's my life. Okay, That's the end of today's show. I hope you don't miss next week's episode. Bye-bye.